Do you ever wonder how a single incident can ignite a wave of change, sparking a global outcry? Today, we delve into the events sparked by the arrest and subsequent death of Mahsa Amini, a young Iranian woman, and the widespread reactions it triggered. On a fateful day in September 2022, 22-year-old Mahsa Amini was apprehended by Iran's morality police for allegedly violating the country's strict hijab regulations. A mere 3 days later, Mahsa tragically lost her life in circumstances that remain shrouded in controversy. Official reports attributed her demise to a sudden cardiac arrest. However, accounts from her family and eyewitnesses painted a more gruesome picture, suggesting that she had been brutally beaten before being transported to detention, with visible signs of torture and abuse marking her body. The news of Mahsa's death ignited a firestorm of protests, the likes of which Iran had not witnessed since the Islamic Revolution in 1979. These demonstrations spread like wildfire, engulfing over 80 cities. Women, the main protagonists of this movement, boldly cut their hair and burned their hijabs in protest. Amnesty International reported that these demonstrations led to the death of at least 82 individuals, with more than 1,300 arrests. In response to this outcry, the Iranian government launched a violent crackdown, resulting in additional fatalities and thousands of arrests. Military and police leaders in Iran reaffirmed their loyalty to Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, vowing to thwart the sinister plots woven by the sworn enemies of the Islamic Revolution. Yet, the impact of Mahsa Amini's death transcended the issue of the hijab. It echoed a growing desire for change within Iranian society. Particularly among the youth, there's a demand for a radical transformation of the system. This event brought to light widespread dissatisfaction with the precarious economic conditions exacerbated by international sanctions, and it highlighted a united society in resistance against authorities. In conclusion, Mahsa Amini's death has become a symbol of resistance and a call for change within Iran. The ripple effects have crossed national borders, sparking a global movement of solidarity and demands for justice. This poignant narrative underscores the transformative power of a single event, demonstrating how one life can indeed make a significant impact on the world stage. Following the global outcry over Mahsa Amini's death, a significant response has emerged from the Iranian diaspora. Iranian communities living abroad have taken to social media platforms, organizing rallies and raising awareness about the situation in their homeland. They echoed the demands for justice and freedom, reinforcing the calls for change from within Iran. Their collective voice has added another layer to the global movement, emphasizing the interconnectedness of this struggle for justice and human rights. As the situation in Iran continues to evolve, the diaspora's role in amplifying the cries for change has proven to be a critical factor in the ongoing fight for a better Iran. As the situation in Iran continues to unfold, the international community watches closely, each with their own unique perspective. In the United States, the government has shown robust support for the Iranian people, expressing solidarity with their demands for justice and human rights. This stance, however, has further strained the already tense U.S.-Iran relations, adding a new dimension to the complexity of their interactions. Meanwhile, reactions in the Arab world are mixed. Some nations have openly expressed solidarity with the Iranian people, acknowledging their struggle for justice and freedom. Other nations, however, tread cautiously, aware of the delicate balance of power in the region. These varied reactions, like individual threads in an intricate web, have the potential to impact the larger landscape of international relations in the Middle East. As we navigate through this complex geopolitical terrain, one thing remains clear. The events in Iran have far-reaching implications, transcending borders and resonating on a global scale. The world continues to watch, waiting to see how the story of Iran's fight for justice and change unfolds. As the global community continues to watch the unfolding events in Iran, two key players in the region, Russia and Turkey, have offered their own nuanced responses. Russia, with its historical ties and strategic interests in Iran, has voiced its concern over the escalating protests, calling for stability and expressing apprehension over the potential to destabilize the region. This cautious response from Moscow underscores the delicate balance of power in the region, highlighting the complexity of geopolitical relations. On the other hand, Turkey, a neighbor and important regional player, has shown support for the Iranian government while calling for restraint and dialogue. This stance reflects a delicate balancing act as Turkey seeks to maintain its diplomatic relations with Iran, while also acknowledging the grievances of the Iranian people. These reactions from Russia and Turkey are not just isolated responses, but part of a larger geopolitical chessboard where every move has far-reaching implications. As we delve deeper into this intricate web of international relations, the role of these nations and their influence on the unfolding events in Iran becomes even more critical. This is a testament to the global ripple effects of the Iranian struggle, a narrative that is deeply interwoven with the geopolitical fabric of the region. Europe's stance on the Iranian situation has been marked by its characteristic diplomacy and cautious approach. As the tides of unrest sweep across Iran, European nations grapple with their economic and political interests in the region, walking a tightrope of international relations. They have voiced their concerns over the violent crackdown, calling for restraint and respect for human rights. Countries like France and Germany, key players in the European Union, have spoken out against the violence, urging the Iranian government to heed peaceful demonstrations. This measured response from Europe, while upholding human rights principles, also underlines the delicate balance of interests that inform their foreign policy. As we turn our gaze back to Iran, this complex interplay of international reactions continues to shape the unfolding narrative. In the wake of the protests and the government's subsequent crackdown, the ripple effects are felt far beyond Iran's borders and political landscape, reaching into the realm of tourism. Once a thriving sector, bolstered by Iran's rich cultural heritage and breathtaking landscapes, the tourism industry now finds itself in a precarious position. As the images of unrest and violence flood international media, potential tourists are left questioning the safety and stability of the country. Many have chosen to postpone or even cancel their travel plans, dealing a significant blow to the industry. This decline in tourism not only affects the economy but also the image of Iran as a desirable destination. This could have long-lasting effects, potentially taking years for the industry to recover, even after stability is restored. As we shift our focus back to Iran, we see a nation grappling with the immediate and far-reaching consequences of the unrest. The question remains, how will this impact the future of Iran, both domestically and on the international stage? As we now shift our focus back to Iran, the aftershocks of the protests continue to reverberate throughout the nation. The political and social climate remain tense, with the government's response to the protests only fueling the flames of unrest. The aftermath has been marked by increased surveillance, widespread arrests, and a crackdown on freedom of speech. Yet the struggle for change continues. The Iranian people, resilient in their pursuit of justice for Mahsa and reform for their nation, continue to face these challenges head-on. Despite the hardships, the spirit of resistance, emboldened by the global support, thrives in the hearts of the Iranian people.